Hey everybody, Brian Trow here with your Mossy Creek fly fishing forecast. The date today is Monday, January 10th. So it's pretty cold outside. Winter is definitely here, barely getting above freezing today. Not going to get above freezing tomorrow, just lots of cold air in the forecast. So you get a little moderation later in the week. Looks like it might get up into the 40s, and then maybe some more winter weather coming this weekend. So I'm going to talk a little bit about fishing in the cold. You know, you want to target your spring creeks, obviously, because here in the valley, that's 55-degree water. Everybody thinks of spring creeks as cold, and of course, if you jump in one in the middle of the summer, it's quite cold. But it's going to be the warmest water available to the fish in the state this time of year. So I've already seen ice on some of the larger bodies of water. Ponds, lakes have a decent amount of ice on them. Certainly by Wednesday, they're going to have a lot. On our larger rivers, all the slower stretches, like on the North Fork and the South Fork of the Shenandoah, are starting to get really good ice on them. So certainly by the second half of the week, we're going to have a lot to deal with, a lot of ice to deal with. So focus on your spring creeks. Not only do they not get ice on them, they don't even come close to freezing. So that's a good place to focus your energy. Also, let's talk a little bit about guides and freezing guides. So it's kind of a nuisance. You get to fishing, you're fishing along, and every time you're stripping line in, you're just pulling water onto that guide, and it's freezing up. So we sell a product called Stanley's Ice Paste, and you can apply that to your guides, and it'll really keep the water from adhering to them. Quick little fix: if you don't have any ice paste, your silicone gel floatants can actually work pretty well too. So the idea is squirt it in your fingers. Try and do it before you're outside. It's too cold. Just kind of put some on each and every guide. Don't glob it on. Don't cake it on. But the idea is to keep water droplets from sticking to the metal, which will then keep it from freezing. So big difference between not having that on and fishing with it on. You can go sometimes 40-50 minutes before you have to bust ice out of your guides. So that'll help out a whole bunch. One thing I like to do, you know, you can dress as warm as you want head to toe for fishing, but the problem is always your fingers. Everybody's, you know, got different ways to fish, but basically you need to have exposed fingers. I mean, if you want the dexterity to tie a fly on or strip in line, you really need to have them. So I go with fingerless gloves. They make all different types that flip back. I like wool. Wool can keep you warm even when you're wet. But one good trick that I use all the time when I'm going to be out there guiding or fishing all day and it's really cold is I'll get those pocket hand warmers. And it's difficult to put them on your palms because it kind of interferes with your cast. So what I'll do, I'll slide it into my glove on top of my hand. And that warms all the blood going to your fingers. And it really can help. I mean, you could get another hour and a half out of fishing before you need to go warm up. By doing that little trick. So these are ways just to kind of stay a little bit warmer on the water. Of course, if you've got your threshold and you're not going to go out when it's above freezing, great fly tying season. But also keep in mind this coming weekend is the Virginia Fly Fishing Festival in Doswell, just north of Richmond. So it's really accessible to folks from Richmond, folks from Tidewater, DC area. Great show. It's been going on forever. We've been going for I don't know now, maybe 16, 17 years. So that's a great show. We'll be there. Colby will be giving presentations like he always does. So if you're looking for something to do this weekend, that's a really good option. So anyway, that being said, top to bottom, mountain streams, they're going to be really, really cold. Fish small, watch for ice. We had a lot of snowmelt this week. The good news about the snowmelt is we were getting really dry, and we're still dry. But snowmelt is wonderful because the way it slowly melts here in Virginia day in and day out, it's just almost like having your plants like on a drip system. You know how you just give them a little water every single day. That really helps replenish the groundwater and the water table. So with the rain we had yesterday, the snowmelt we had all last week from 2 storms, the rain we had from the week before that, we're really getting a nice little bounce to our streams. So that's a good thing. The downside is it's just cold. The water's cold. Fish are warmer hours, fish on the bottom, small nymphs, very small nymphs. Some people say, oh, I need to fish small because the water's clear and low, but I also need to get deep. So you have to put a lot of weight on. What do? That can be a bit of a problem, but there's a couple flies that we sell through the store that really solve that problem. The 2-bit hooker is one of the best ones. It's very tiny. You can get them in size 18 and 16, but they've got 2 tungsten beads tied into them. So even though they're very small, they have a lot of weight. Great fly to fish this time of year and to get down quickly. So Spring Creek's Mossy, fishing pretty well. Folks are doing okay with streamers, probably doing better with nymphs just because dead drifting is really the best way to get after them right now, but some people are taking a few on some nice big streamers too. Not a whole lot of topwater action to be had at all. So that's kind of it. The muskie fishing has been quite good. I wouldn't be surprised if parts of the Shenandoah, particularly the parts that we fish for muskie, which would be your bigger, slower pools, have pretty good ice on them by Wednesday morning. So that might kind of put a hold to that for a while. All right. That's pretty much it for the week. Give us a call if you have questions on what to do or where to go, or email us. And like always, we prefer if you're around, stop in and see us. So, and don't forget to check us out this weekend at the Virginia Fly Fishing Festival. Thanks, everybody.